MasterBoris is back with a new video. What's good in the hood? Chicken nuggets with some hot sauce on them combos. Another reaction video. This is also requested, sent to me. And it's a DD reaction video. Shout outs to DD. Let's see. This video, title of this video is The Global Shift. Why the Passport Bros are Changing Dating. Hey, we made a couple of videos years ago about the Passport Bros and what brothers need to do and get with a woman overseas and y'all be tight like glue. But yeah, we're gonna get right into this video, see what she talking about. Let's do it.
Passport boys, the new trend. Men are going overseas to find women that were raised to be good wives. The response I get on my vlogs, on my podcast, and Instagram or whatnot is, oh, those are women that are oppressed. See, women have such a negative taste in their mouth towards, oh, she's from Mexico. Oh, she's oppressed. It's like, why? My girlfriend was raised, her mom taught her how to cook. Her dad said, take care of your man. I know there's women now that can't even put a Hot Pocket in the microwave and get it right.
I've been living in Dubai for the last 13 years. Meet a lot of Western men. Over this last decade, I've seen more and more American men here in Dubai with foreign wives. Women from Indonesia, from the Philippines, from Thailand, from Russia, from Ukraine. And I'm talking about your educated men, your school teachers, your engineers, your software technicians, all of those professions where you get a good, solid, middle class, upper middle class man. And everyone have said the same thing when I asked them this question: why did you choose this wife? 99.9% of them have said, I just cannot take Western women anymore. They just want women that are agreeable, who are fit, they're friendly, they're not overweight. And I'm not just talking about black men, middle class white guys as well, you know? So you modern women in America, you guys gotta be aware that there's an incredible competition for your men. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and these are statements that I've been seeing and reading and hearing on podcasts, and I'm like, to say that weak. A man is weak because he decides he goes to a different country, finds a woman that he likes, who treats him like the king that he is, or that he...
Men are waking up and realizing the American woman mindset is altered, skewed. It's bad for business. It's bad for marriage. It's bad for life. Why is that? Because the modern day woman is very masculine. Society and the feminists have skewed and altered the matrix into having women believe, get a good education and a good job and you don't need a man. And you're seeing the percentages and the numbers and the statistics go up. More and more people are single and less birth rates are happening in America. And men are tired of it. So what's happening now, men are getting passports and going overseas to find a woman, and American women are upset and sideways about it. Number one response is, they can't handle us. And for once in your life, you're correct. They can't. Nobody else can handle you. And on top of that, nobody else wants to handle you. When a woman says this, nobody can handle me. That's why they're doing it. They're mad, they're bitter. What is the outcome that you want? Because if you're...
I said this 1,000 times on this channel, bro. 1,000 times. Go where you celebrate it, not tolerate it, bro. You have to. It shouldn't even have to come to this, but it gotten so bad here in America. I mean, listen, granted, you know, there's diamond in the rough. You know what I'm saying? There's some, you know, women that are good out there, but most of them probably taken. But anyway, you go out there and having better results overseas or whatever you go, stay there and live in peace. You know, you're not weak for doing this. That's just a shaming tactic so you won't do nothing for yourself as men. A lot of these modern women that are consumed by the garden of insanity, man, they don't like competition, bro. They think they're untouchable. They think they're invincible.
If you're a woman that says you don't need a man, then you have no business commenting on this video and disagreeing with me.
The Passport Bro movement is about freedom for a group of men who never really experienced a lot of freedom, which is black American men. Now, white men have been traveling and going to different countries for a very, very long time. And what white men have done in other countries has nothing to do with black American men whatsoever. We have, you know, covered and seen even the lies that's been spoken on black American men, trying to compare what, you know, some white men have done that was predatory and downright criminal in other countries, saying black men gonna do the same, because, you know, they have to try to shame the black man. It is the modern America.
That's all that is. Shame the brother that wants better for himself and wants better people, around him, or a companionship, with a woman that's good to him. It's just envy, jealousy, and they know deep down, these modern women that consume by the garden of insanity, that they really can't win. They really can't. Even the pretty ones, you know what I'm saying? They got ugly attitudes. They can't win. You know what I'm saying? They can't manipulate you. You strong. You know what you want. You know what I'm saying? Because you have self-worth. So going overseas and trying to find a great relationship with a woman, hey, if it works, it works. And stick to what works all the time. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, you probably get better results over there anyway. But yeah, let's ride out.
American woman who feels that she has no control anymore on men in this country through the Pass Road Bro movement is the ones who's actually having issue and problem.
Yeah, and I agree with what he's saying. I just wanted to pause there for a second. I think that is part of the problem. You see a lot of black women have a problem with with black men going overseas to look for wives, relationships, fun, whatever. It's because they feel like they're losing their grip. They just can't shame you and make you do what they want you to do. And I think that is part of the problem. They want to, they've lost control, the control that they felt that they've had, where they could just shame a black man and say, oh my God, you shouldn't be doing this, or you should be doing this. And they just do it. And they're not getting that response. And that's what's infuriating them. And this is why they want to say, oh, they're sassy. Try to shame them in many different ways, because you can't just make them feel a certain way and they just listen to what you're saying. That didn't work for them in the first place, so why would they continue to do it? I don't understand why
And the crazy part about it is the modern women that's complaining about these men going overseas, they wasn't checking for them anyway. These women don't want these men anyway, so why is that, you putting a lot of emphasis of, and caring about what men doing without you, that you probably won't even pick. You would probably use them for resources or dinner dates and not really a relationship, or a transactional relationship. That's crazy to me. It's crazy that you have that scenario where that goes down and men ain't going for it anymore. So game over, no continues. Don't insert this coin here. Yeah, let's ride out.
Body crew societies of a member get on social media and are all mad and try to dismiss these men, but y'all, it ain't gonna work, and they see it's not working. So either they're just gonna leave it alone, or they just gonna, just be mad all to themselves, because there's nothing you can do about it. But the things that they could do about it, they don't want to, because they don't think that they are the problem. And we're gonna get into that in a second. A lot of American women don't see themselves as a problem. They think that they're everything since sliced bread, and that they don't have to make changes. And that's part of the reason why the men are walking away. Now, do I think all men are perfect? Hell to the no. Oh my God. Let's not get it twisted. But the narrative is that all women, the narrative, even though they're not blatantly saying it, but the narrative is always the men are the ones who all got the problem, and the women are just these perfect queens. Even though they say we're not perfect, the insinuation is, oh, something is wrong with all these men, but nothing is wrong with y'all, because y'all can never point out your own flaws. You, as women, American women, you can never point out what's your fault, where your issues lie, but it's always on the men. So yeah, that's insinuating that all the men are the problem because they don't want to do what we want, and all of us are just queens and we're just perfect, and we can't find a perfect man to match our fly. That's what they're saying without saying it blatantly. But we know that's not true. And I don't think all men are perfect. Yeah, I think there's men who have to work on themselves too. There are a lot of men out here with a lot of issues. But all I try to say is point out the fact we've been pointing out the men with the issues, but we've never pointed out the women with the issues, and that's kind of.
And what Dee Dee is saying right there, that goes to show you, and I stand by on this point, where I feel like men, because she just said that some of these men are not perfect, but I feel like more men are taking more pride of bettering themselves to be better people. American women are not. Most of them are not. Okay? And that's regarding to character, you know, how they are, how they act. And I stand on that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, men want to do better more than the American women will try to do better, regards to not just relationships, but, you know, everyday life. See, they being coddled all the time. See, society in America, they coddle women. They don't coddle men. But yeah, let's ride out.
Out of them and made them feel like they're better than men and put them on this pedestal, and they're far from that. And I don't think we should pedestalize anybody, to be honest. Let's continue.
I think the question goes deep into specific audiences. So, you know, in the Black community, without a doubt, there are a lot of men who leave America looking for women who are more agreeable. I wouldn't say submissive, but more agreeable.
There has been a growing trend, right? And this really started, I would say, a little bit more than 10 years ago. No, it's been going on longer than that, but really to where we've had the whole idea of passport bros, right? There's been this growing trend that has been picking up in the last 20 and more so in the last 15 and definitely in the last 10 years, where a lot of men, you know, Western men from the US, men from Canada, but there's been a lot of highlight in it for American men, have been going to places like Thailand, the Philippines, Taiwan, whatever the case is, right? The Philippines and Thailand seem to really lead the way, and Colombia as well, right? So it seems like those are three of the most popular destinations for a lot of American men of all color, right? Black, white, whatever the case is, have been going to these countries to find what they consider, find their wife, to find women that they see who can, work with them, so to speak. I'm being very gentle with my words here, right? They're seeking women who they believe, right, they can build a life with, right, while maintaining their peace. I'm just telling you what folks saying. I'm just summarizing what folks saying. I'm being gentle just talking about this. So you have these American men leaving to go to the Philippines, go to Thailand, go to Colombia, whatever the case is, Brazil, whatever, to find women because they say that Western women are difficult to deal with. That's what they're saying. I never said that. They're saying that Western women are difficult to deal with. So what are y'all thoughts on that? On this whole idea of passport bros? Why are so many men, and it's really a lot of guys are really deciding to go overseas to find a wife and not marry someone who's, here in the US or whatever the case is. Why do you think that's become so much of a prominent thing? I'm curious. Let's discuss.
Because there are more family-oriented, more traditional women in other countries, as well as women that have educations. I meet so many female professionals here in Colombia that are excellent women. So next time someone says to you, what's a passport bro? And what are they doing? Do realize passport bros are men that are relocating outside the United States because they want better lifestyles, better laws, and yes, better ladies.
Here are some reasons why the average American man loves Europe, and once they touch down, they don't never want to leave. I said average. I'm not even talking about anybody that makes six figures. Number one, they get into the club for free. You may be like, why is that? Because some of the club owners know that American men are a magnet for women. Once you made it into the club, women smell your swag from a mile away. So what do? They levitate towards you and they try to get your attention, no matter what. It doesn't matter if they scream. It doesn't matter if they bump into you by accident. It doesn't matter if they, do what else by accident, just to get your attention. Once they got your attention, they ask you what you want to drink. They buy you drinks. They buy you dinner. They take you out. They spend money on you. And I'm talking about beautiful women, okay? Pretty women, Lebanese, Turkish, German, Ethiopia, whatever you want. Treating a man like he never got treated before.
Go overseas. Stop dating here. Stop trying to look for some sort of change, some sort of gem amongst them, because you are not going to find it. If there is not an impetus to evolve, the organism will seldom evolve because there is no reason to.
Okay, so major dating tip for dating internationally overseas that people don't talk about enough is be normal. That's it. Be normal. Your cultural difference is what make you stand out. That's what make you so attractive. You get what I'm saying? That's what makes you attractive. Your cultural difference and your willingness to blend with another culture. Be normal. Don't try to change up yourself. Don't try to be super tough. Don't try to be super Mr. Flex. You want to flex money. Don't try to be things that you're not. Be you. That's the best thing about dating internationally in other international countries is the fact that when you being you, you're going to find somebody for you.
Once again, it's going to take a lot of changes for the women in this country to get it together. You know what I mean? And this is not every woman, but the indoctrination is real. You know what I mean? The indoctrination is real. The brainwashing is real. I think a lot of, and it's not, you know, it's within our culture overall, actually. You know what I mean? It's a lot that's been handed to us, a lot of misinformation, a lot of things that have been given to us on purpose, in my opinion, to cause us to be behind. And when I hear people say, oh, you know, the black community is at the bottom, or the black women are at the bottom when it comes to relationships and dating and marriage, it's the truth, but it's not a good feeling. It's not a good thing to want to be considered at the bottom, and that's just it. But this is why it's so important for, and I say women because I think women are at the forefront of this. As much as they try to put the men on, it's no longer. If men were at the forefront at one point, it's flipped to me. And it's the women, in my personal humble opinion, that the women are the ones who have to do the most work. And you can't say, oh, the men are supposed to be leaders, so why don't they fix it? No, because if the men can't even lead the women, then how are they going to lead? If the women are the boss chicks, if the women are leading their own homes, if the women are the ones, you know, who have taken it up on themselves, you know, to be the leaders, then it's up to you to make the changes, because y'all are the ones who are still going by this indoctrination, this brainwashing that has told you that you don't need your own men. But anyway, yeah, shout out to the passport bro. Shout out to any man who decides to figure out another way to go try to get what he wants. That's what, look, life is short. You look, go after what it is that you want. You know, if it work out, it work out. If it doesn't, it don't. At least you gave it a try. And you're not just settling for anything because you think that's all that you could get. No, I don't think, just like women say they're not gonna settle, I don't think men should settle either. I know I wouldn't want my son settling for a 3-time baby mama who done let Pookie run up in her all that and been ran through and that's all he could get. No, hell no. I wouldn't advise nobody to do that. For why? Hit the like button, y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. But yeah, I just think that this is, you know, a hot mess. I just think that this is not something that men should tolerate. I think men shouldn't settle. I think men should go after the best that they can get. Why not? If women are choosing to not settle, then men don't have to settle either.
They said a mouthful, you know what I'm saying? I already said my piece on about the passport bros a lot of times on this channel, you know? Like, men are not playing with y'all in 2026 and beyond, including myself. Let's talk about it in the comment sections down below. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. I do a variety of videos here, and I'll see y'all next one. Peace.